flood his mind as he's sitting on the bathroom floor with his mother's pills in his hands, wondering why God made him this way. Many people don't see these quotes. That's because the bullying and discrimination that happens to homosexuals is so horrible that the public doesn't want the people to see what it really is. Discrimination happens everywhere. Today in my speech, I'm going to show you 3 places where that occurs: at school, at home, and at work. And I'm going to tell you some stories of people who actually took the extra step to actually end their own lives to save themselves from the endless pain. The first place I'm going to talk about is at school. School is probably one of the biggest examples of where bullying and discrimination occurs. Whether it is out in the open or online, it is still bullying. In schools, homosexual teens face so much discrimination for being who they are openly. Students walk around the halls and call them gay and fags and dykes. And it's unfair and it's so horrible that some of the students can't handle it anymore and actually blame themselves for it. The first story I'm going to talk about is Ash Hafner, and it was reported by CNN News. Tonight in North Carolina, a 16-year-old transgender boy has taken his own life after years of enduring years of bullying. Ash stepped into oncoming traffic near his home on Indian Trail on Thursday, February the 26th. His mother, April Quick, found the body and said that Ash had endured lots of bullying at school, especially when he decided to do the transition and wanted to be considered to as he. Ash's mom said she still struggled and called her she by accident, but she said that Ash was very strong because for so many years she had been bullied. Ash is the 4th transgender teen to commit suicide in the U.S. this year. The second place I want to talk about is at work. In some workplaces, homosexuals have a nice job and they go on and they're just fine and it's perfect. Sometimes that's not it. Some places want to hire homosexuals to work for them. Some places like this include Hobby Lobby because they're a Christian-based organization. In a certain Hobby Lobby in Arkansas, a much different sequence of events unfolded and it cost an innocent man his life. This story is about Jeremy Gleason. Jeremy Gleason was an employee at the Hobby Lobby in Arkansas. One day, his managers took him behind the store and killed him in an alleyway. They threw bricks and stoned him to death. The autopsy showed that he died from blunt force trauma to the head. They told the police that they were exercising their religious rights and that according to Leviticus 20:13 in the Bible, it says for them to kill homosexuals. They did get away with the crime because it was considered them exercising their religious rights. The third place that I finally want to talk about is at home. Of all the places on earth, no one would ever suspect that teens would be discriminated in their own homes by the ones who love them more than anywhere in the world. But many teens go home, and some of them they tell their parents, and some of them love them and they care for their children and they don't love them any less. Other times, the parents look at them like they're monsters and turn away from their own children and call them disgusting and horrible and think of them as something completely different. And I'm going to tell you about my experience in my home. My first experience is with my dad. In my own life, I've experienced a break in my family where my dad's side thinks that I'm horrible and my mom's side loves me for who I am. When my dad found out, he looked at me and he just kind of blew up, cussing and screaming and all kinds of things and told me I was disgusting and a monster and an abomination to the world and that I ruined his life and that it was just that I was a sin and that I was horrible, which at the time I thought so. It took me a long time to get after that, and it still kind of affects me to this day when I think about it. I didn't understand why God would make me this way if it was going to make my own family turn against me. And then my experience with my mom. I was broken and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I went to go tell my mom thinking that she would have the same kind of reaction that my father had. But I was shocked to find out that she just kind of opened her arms and she told me that she loved me for who I was and that she would be the one person, if nobody else would, that would actually stand by my side and help me through this. Too much blood has flown from the arms of the children who are discriminated for those who they choose to kiss. Like I said, no one knows the truth about what happens because they don't want to know. It happens at places like school, work, and even at home. That needs to stop. People need to help they need to help stop the horrible names and help help the lives of the people. You can be the change. Help stop it.